Hey Brian, how's it going?
Good. I'm trying to get this to go onto my computer so because I have like a webcam that's like 1080p HD. So.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna do an audio call, but
Oh, okay, that's fine.
all right, my bad.
Oh no, no worries. That's fine.
Yeah. All right. And how's everything going?
Everything's good. How are you?
I'm doing good. You're just under 2 months away from the biggest fight of your career. You're taking on John Lineker at UFC 224 in Rio. How's preparation been going so far?
Preparation's going great. I actually, from the last fight with Burrell, I had some bumps and bruises, so I kind of took it slow. I took a week off and then slowly got myself back in the gym, but now I'm 100% and I'm picking things up nicely.
Awesome. And this is a fight you wanted. You called John Lineker out, and you got the fight. Tell me, what was the process like when getting this fight? Did the UFC just come to you with the offer, or how did it go down?
Yeah, it all happened pretty quick. I think in this business, it's about, asking for what you want and you should receive. And I think that's what it was. The UFC likes that I picked my fight and I want to be a world champion. So I pick a guy that's ahead of me in John Lineker. And they called my manager like a couple of weeks after the fight. I think they were really interested. So we made it happen.
Awesome. And you wanted to face him in Atlantic City. You're headed to Brazil in his home country instead, but you've already done that before in your UFC debut when you submitted Yuri Alcantara. So, what are your thoughts on taking on Lineker in enemy territory?
Yeah, I think it's really good that I had that first fight, that debut, to get that experience out of the way. And I really think that's going to help me this time around. I already know what to expect. I love the fans there. I know they're going to be against me, but I love their passion. I feed off of that energy, so I'm excited. I know I called for Atlantic City at first, but realistically, I needed some time to heal after the last fight, so it worked out perfectly.
Great. And there's a big rumored fight for this card, an interim title fight between RDA and Colby Covington. Does it excite you to have a fight like that added to the card?
Yeah, I think that would be good to add to the card. I know Colby's said some things, and a lot of the Brazilian fans are really against him. And I don't know for his own safety if he wants to take that fight in Brazil, but we'll see what happens. I know it's still in the works. I would love to have him there just so they don't hate me as much as they hate him. So
Yeah. Yeah. So you're not the most hated guy in Brazil, like you said.
yeah, exactly. So it'll take a little bit of the hate off of me.
Absolutely. And the lineup hasn't been set yet, but do you know where your fight is going to be placed on the card? Do you know if it's going to be on the main card or not?
No, I don't know yet. I keep looking at the website, but the website these days it takes time to update it. So I think they're waiting till the card fills out to realign the lineup. So I can't imagine I'm not on the main card, but it's possible that they have me on like the featured prelim again, where I'm like the last fight on the prelims, which I'm fine with. As long as I get that TV exposure, people get to see me fight. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, because I was going to say there's kind of an advantage to both, to be honest. Obviously, the pay per view portion being, the pay per view main card, and at the same time, having it free on FS1 allows everybody to watch it if they're not going to pay for the pay per view. So it's kind of advantages to both.
Oh yeah, realistically, if you're not a world champion or if you're not fighting for a belt, you don't get any pay-per-view points or anything like that. So it's not a big deal to be on pay-per-view. And also, I think most people, the casual fans, are kind of at the bars just watching the fights, and those are the guys that get to see you on TV for free. So it works out.
Yeah, and you had a nice little back and forth with Lineker on Twitter, although I don't know if it's him or someone else because I haven't heard him speak English before. But were you surprised to see him tweet at you like that?
Yeah, it was surprising because it was so quick. But I realistically, I think it's his manager because I don't think he does speak good English like that. And it's all right though. I know it's just fun and games. It's nice to go back and forth and just have a little bit of fun with it. It's nothing personal. I don't know the guy. He doesn't know me. We're just gonna get in there and fight, and the best man's gonna win.
Yeah, definitely. And let's talk about the fight. A big opportunity for you taking on the sixth ranked Bantamweight. What is it about this matchup that you like for yourself stylistically?
Like I said, it's nothing personal. I never really like dislike another fighter or anything like that. It's all business. It's getting myself to that title. And I know Lineker, he passed up on that fight with Rivera. He got hurt. He had to pull out. And so I knew he was waiting for a fight. And Rivera's already booked against Marias. So I said, you know what? This is my chance to slide right into that open position. I got to stick to the plan. I called him out after my first fight because, I kind of want to stick to the theme of like the Brazilian killer right now. I think it's a good little thing to go with. So I thought, what better than number 6 in the world to put myself in line for a title shot? I mean, nobody else has finished Lineker besides Dillashaw, I think. So it's a big statement to go in and beat this guy, let alone try to get the finish.
I think Dillashaw went the distance with Lineker. I don't think he finished him.
Yeah, nobody finished this guy. So that's a big statement. If I could finish this guy, then I did something that nobody else could do.
Definitely, and he more often than not will engage in a brawl. I mean, you showed that you're game for that in your last fight against Burrell, but do you feel like you have to be careful to not get sucked into his world?
I think you just can't be stupid. You got to be really sharp and really aware with Lineker. He obviously has the power in his hands, but I'm not a guy that's afraid to get hit or afraid to get in the exchange as well. I think a lot of guys fight Lineker afraid. They don't want to get hit. They don't want to get touched, and so he's able to move forward and implement this game plan because these guys are backing up and they're scared to engage and scared to push forward. Which I'm not that guy. I'm gonna come forward. I'm gonna work my movement, but I'm not gonna be avoiding the exchanges like a lot of these other guys. I'm gonna get in there and try to hurt this guy and finish him.
And you look at, because like you said, the forward pressure always looks good in front of the judges' eyes. Do you look at the Lineker John Dodson? Have you seen that fight? Is that kind of an example of what you mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't be avoiding too much. A lot of people think Dodson won that fight based off points. I thought he won that fight, to be honest, but you never know what the judges are looking at, and especially in Brazil, the last thing on my mind is go to a decision where it's close or where it's controversial, where you don't know who won the fight. I mean, I got to make it dominant, whether I'm moving a lot, I'm in and out. I got to make sure all my strikes count, make him miss, and make him pay.
Absolutely. And in your last fight, you beat a former champion in Burrell. How much did that help you in boosting your confidence in preparation for a fight like this one that you have coming up?
Oh, it helped me a lot. But I really have a strong self-belief. You got to believe that you're the best before you are the best. And that's how my mindset's been ever since, I started going on a win streak before I was in the UFC. So, I keep that mindset going into all my fights, no matter who it is. I knew it was going to be a tough test against Burrell, and it was a time to find out where I truly belong. How good am I really? So I found that out fighting him, that I do belong amongst the best guys in the division. And it puts me in a perfect spot now, confidence-wise, to go against Lineker. I feel really good about the fight.
For sure. And when you're preparing for a fight, I mean, I noticed that on Twitter and stuff that you're a guy that really pays attention to the sport and the division. Do you study tape? I mean, I know you probably watch the fights on the weekend. I mean, I don't know. Do you? Do you watch the fights every weekend? Do you study?
Oh, I watch I watch the fights every weekend, 100%. I'm really a big fan of the sport. I love watching fights, breaking down fights, everything. So I know a lot. I know all these guys pretty much without even watching any tape. I have a really good idea of how all of these guys fight, especially Lineker. I think he's a good fighter, but he's a bit of a predictable fighter. We all know what he's going to do. I mean, he doesn't mix it up crazy. He doesn't throw a lot of kicks. He rarely ever will shoot a takedown. He just wants to take your head off. He wants to come forward. He wants to back you up. He mixes up the punches well to the body, to the head, but he throws a lot of hooks, and that's all he really throws at people. So I have a really good gauge of what's to happen in this fight and what to look for and what to implement myself. And that's about it. I really don't watch a lot of tape myself. I let my coach do that because I like to focus on myself. I tend to overthink things sometimes. So for me, I just take a back seat. I let my coaches come with the preparation leading up to the fight, and I just improvise when I get in the cage.
Absolutely. And where do you feel like a win over Lineker puts you in the Bantamweight division? I mean, surely it would catapult you to the top, right?
Oh, yeah. You never know these days. It's a business, like I was saying before with the UFC. They're owned by more of an entertainment company now. So if you're entertaining and you're saying what you need on the mic and you're cutting promotions, I think you can get what you want these days. So that's my goal. I always have a plan in my head, but I can never look past the guy. But I know if I beat Lineker and I finish him, especially, that they're going to look at me as a guy who's ready to fight for a title. I'm 31 years old, and I'm going to make that claim. I'm ready to fight the best guys. So I don't know what's going to happen with Dillashaw, if he's going to fight Demetrius or if he's going to stay at 35, but I'm going to make that claim and try to make a statement and try to run for that title as fast as possible.
Yeah, because there were reports that the TJ DJ fight isn't happening anymore, and he doesn't. There isn't someone specific that's gonna fight him next. I mean, TJ was saying kind of like, "I'm gonna make Cruz wait. Cody doesn't deserve a rematch." So it's kind of like up in the air in terms of who he's gonna fight next. So yeah, I mean, should you get past Lineker, it would be a good opportunity because I don't think, at least according to TJ, that there's a clear cut contender next for him.
Yeah, exactly. So right now, with that said, that was exactly how I was thinking about it. I'm like, he doesn't really have a specific guy lined up for a definitive fight. Like, I would imagine either Cody would get a rematch or the winner of Marias and Rivera, depending on how the fight goes. You know, those two are also deserving guys, especially Rivera because he's pretty much ran through everybody he's fought so far. Um, and I was thinking, you never know how that fight goes. If that fight's like a slow fight, a decision fight, and it's not really too impressive, and I go out there and I finish Lineker, I might be able to catapult myself past these guys, and that's my plan. But you just never know. So I'm gonna call my shot, and I'm gonna hope for at least either a title contender fight or something along those lines.
And do you feel like it might be a little difficult because it's a hostile crowd to kind of get a message across? Are you planning on maybe doing it in the post-fight interview at the back or right there in the arena?
Oh no! I mean, I'm gonna run with the momentum. I mean, if I win a fight, I'm on cloud nine. You know, like I'm feeling the best I ever feel in my life when I win a fight. So that's when I let out all my passion. I'm gonna talk about what I want, and that's the time to cut the promo. That's when everyone's watching. That's when the big eyes are on you. So I take advantage of that when I get that mic, and I try to nail it. So I'm definitely gonna let it go right after the fight.
True, of course, that makes sense. And one last thing before I let you go, how do you envision this fight going? How do you get the job done?
You know, I can't. This guy's so hard to put away that I can't actually believe that I'm gonna knock him out or submit him. It's gonna. I always predict that I'm gonna go 3 rounds and that it's gonna be the toughest fight of my life, no matter what. And obviously, based off past fights of Lineker's, he just doesn't go away. I mean, he breaks his jaw in the fight against Dillashaw, and he's just staying in there for the full 3 rounds, taking a beating. So I expect that he won't go away easy, but I do believe in my power, and I believe in my killer instinct, and I will come for the finish no matter what. So I just got to keep my footwork sharp, keep my angle sharp, be in and out, touch him before he touches me, and push him back. Don't let him try to bully me in the cage. You know, I'm not going to fight him afraid like the other guys, and I think I'll come out with the win.
Very nice. And one last thing, is there anything you want to do different from your experience going to Brazil the first time? Do you want to maybe go earlier this time? I mean, when you compare the first time you in your UFC debut to this time, is there anything you want to do different in terms of an experience of fighting abroad?
No, not really. You know, I think I had that experience the first time, so now I'm pretty comfortable about what's to come. And I think, you know, the time difference there isn't too far off, so it wasn't like a big shock. I didn't feel different during, you know, fighting or anything like that. I think it'll all fall into place just fine.
All right, Brian. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and best of luck in May.
All right, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Have a good one.